I don't want to get excited, but Pixie, Pixie, I'll be damned if it doesn't look like they're getting this right. Control yourself. Double Toasted's 11th year anniversary party is coming up. Join us for a full weekend of live music, shows, comedy, after parties, a movie screening, and more. Get your tickets by going to dtanniversary.eventbrite.com or use the QR code right there to take you to the site and get your tickets today. And I'll be back at the Broadway Comedy Club June 27th for my own style of sit-down comedy. You'll also be doing some open mic. So get your tickets now by going to doubletoastedny.com. Use that QR code right there. Or you can go to doubletoasted.com. So James Gunn, everybody knows Mr. Gunn right here. James Gunn, did a lot of work with Marvel. Now he's given the daunting task of rebooting the DC universe. And so far, has not done a terrible job at that. You've seen Creature Commandos. That was pretty good, well written, nice characters. Even Peacemaker can be kind of seen as sort of part of that whole reboot of the DC cinematic universe. But as if that wasn't enough of a daunting task to do, he's also been given that task to do with one of the biggest and most important characters in DC, and that's the man himself, Superman. That's David Cornsweet right there, who will be our new Superman. And I would say everybody's kind of on pins and needles with this one right here. Listen, I can understand the pressure on Mr. James Gunn right there, but it's not about you, sir. It's about me, okay? It's about my feelings with Superman. I've been waiting on a Superman movie, not a good one, not a decent one, not an entertaining one. I've been waiting on a great Superman movie for years. And I'm sorry, no disrespect to some of the other Supermans out there that have come up recently. Henry Cavill, I love you, man. I do. I really do. I'm not a Snyder hater like some people are, but those just didn't do it for me, okay? Nice try, but not great. I've been waiting on an amazing and a great Superman movie for a long time. And you, sir, you're the one who's saying you're going to bring it to us. Is that the case? Well, we have a couple of trailers out now and a bunch of teasers, but we've been just gifted with this second trailer for Superman, which will be out very soon. And how do we feel about it? Especially somebody like me, who's going to be, yes, I'm going to be very scrutinizing with this. One false move, one wrong step, and Mr. Gunn, I'm on that ass. So how did he do, at least with this trailer that we have right here? A lot of people are excited. You go ahead and do what you want to do. But like I said, it's all about me. Let's go ahead and take a look at this trailer, second trailer for Superman, coming out on July 11th. And I will let you know my feelings right after this. That music. Ooh. But hey, we ain't done yet. We're not done. I'm not saying anything. Oh, that music.
You have a dog?
Yeah, I got a dog. What's wrong with that? Every man should have a dog. But I digress. Folks, before I say anything, listen, as much as I love Superman, I can't claim to be as hardcore as some of the big and true comic book fans. Now, I just want you to know that with me, Superman, I'm more of the person that grew up with Superman in pop culture. You know, Superman was in my cartoons. He was on my crotch when I was wearing underoos. He was on my cereal box sometimes. And as I said, I just grew up probably watching Superman more than I did reading Superman.
In the great hall of the Justice League, Superman.
Hell yeah. Grew up with Super Friends, love Super Friends, man. Grew up with a lot of Superman cartoons. Read the comics, especially when, just a few, especially when they had the death of Superman. Got into Superman a little bit, bought some comics. But the real thing that hits my heart with Superman is that 1978 Superman movie by Richard Donner. Just like a lot of people, man. You know, the reason why I can say that is because that was my very first superhero movie. And plus, that was my first movie that I went to go see with a lot of family. My first drive-in film. We even had neighbors with us, man, when we went to go see this movie. Like this movie was one of the big events for me. That, like, Superman 1978 is right up there with Star Wars for me.
Look, up on the screen. Superman, the movie.
Man, I think about that moment, like that's really one of the biggest movie-going experiences for me in my life. So, yes, Superman is extremely, extremely close to me because of those many things I said, and plus because of, just the movie-going experience for me. So, I look at this trailer that they put out, and like I said, I'm going to be a little bit harder on this than most people. I've earned that with all the time I put in with Superman. And so, that's why I have the right to come in and say, oh, I don't want to get excited, but shit, Pixie, I'll be damned if it doesn't look like they're getting this right. Control yourself. Settle down, Pixie. Settle down. We cannot get too excited. We know how movies are today. Be reasonable and wait until the movie comes out. I know, but there's so many good things in this trailer that for me, they're already showing me that they know what James Gunn knows what he's doing. He understands this as far as I'm concerned from this trailer. So I think we're in good hands right now. Like I said, I'm going to be realistic and reasonable with this, but man, let me go ahead and break it down. What it is about this trailer that I think that he is really getting correct here. Listen, y'all. This trailer has a great opening for these characters. Not only are they getting Superman right, but they're getting Clark Kent right. And the funny thing is that I don't want to see a Christopher Reeves imitation. Not at all. Hey, you know what? I love Christopher Reeves as Superman. Don't want this repeated, but I cannot help, and you tell me if you hear this, I can't help but hear Christopher Reeves and some of the things that David Cornsweet says.
My actions? I stopped a war.
Like you could hear him kind of sounding like like Christopher Reeves a little bit. But I tell you what I really like here. I tell you what I think that they really got correct. And let me see if I can find it here. I think that, it's also important that you get Lois Lane right. And Lois Lane here, played by Rachel Brosnahan, I think that she's getting that character right. I think they're writing her right. Listen, the way she's portrayed in this trailer right here, woo, she's tough. She's tough. She's driven. She's relentless. She digs really hard and digs deep into Superman right here, to the point where she's driving Superman crazy.
Not the one being interviewed, Superman. Acting as a representative of the United States. I wasn't representing anybody except...
God damn, woman, get off my back! It's interesting to see this, and I think it's important to see this because, this sets up the great dynamic between these two characters here. It says something both about Lois and Clark Kent and Superman to a certain extent, not only how their relationship is, but also how their personalities are. With her, she has this real no-nonsense thing about her going on, man. And you see how pure Clark is, even to the point where he might be a little naive. Lois Lane is reasonable. She's pragmatic. She's straightforward. She's practical. Clark Kent, aka Superman, he's so about good values that he's not really even thinking about the repercussions of what he's doing here. Lois is telling him like, hey, look, boy, this ain't Smallville, all right? It ain't Krypton. You know, you just can't go saving people because you have good intentions. You know, and I like that. And the thing is, it looks like she's right. You know, the way she's talking to him, it looks like he's learning the hard way that she is correct. Get your bitch ass out of here. You know, with people throwing stuff upside his head. And also it shows that, you know, it still feels like Clark in this version of Superman still has a little bit to learn. You know, he's not perfect. Yeah, he might be the strongest man in the world, the most powerful man on earth, but he's not perfect. And he's still vulnerable, especially emotionally vulnerable.
Did you consult with the president?
Look at that, like a little kid. Oh, woman, shut up. Why are you my mama? You know, this, I love that they're showing him as somebody, even though he's from another planet, hey, he's still human when he's on Earth. You know, that is a great way of setting up this character. That is a great way of showing us that this character has some growth to do. That's a great way of showing that, you know, this relationship between these two. I mean, you know, their relationship feels like a relationship that we all kind of have with our significant other, you know, especially when it comes to differences on certain subjects. But, you know, I love this with Superman here because at any moment he could say, you know what, the hell with this, I'll turn around and laser the shit out of you. You know, he could kill all these people. He could probably take over this planet right now. But even though we may not trust him, what this trailer shows is something that a lot of these other Superman movies didn't get. And this is one of the good faith moments right here in Superman, at least the upcoming Superman. This is one of the greatest moments in this trailer right here. You know, that frame right there says it all. You know, even though we might not trust him, you know, this trailer establishes that he's still here for us. And more importantly, at some point, with many people, we're still here for him. This is the strongest man on the planet, you know, arguably. And yet, we're still helping Superman. Or at least trying to. Or at least he's acting like he's allowing this man to help him. But that, you know, that says something about the relationship between us and him. I love that right there. That's one of the greatest moments right there, man. Excuse me for the interruption, but we have to give a word out to our sponsor right now, which is Factor. And you know what? If you want to be a super you got to eat right, got to eat healthy. But that's hard to do if you have a busy schedule like I do. But don't worry, I have another super thing right here to help you out, and that is Factor. Factor has 2-minute meals that are ready to heat and eat, giving you more time to do what you want to do. Factor meals arrive fresh and ready to eat, perfect for any lifestyle out there. They have 45 weekly menu options that you can pick from. Gourmet meals that fit your lifestyle, whether you're calorie smart, protein plus, you eat keto, and more. Plus, Factor also has breakfast, on-the-go lunches, premium dinners, and guilt-free snacks and desserts. And what's more delicious than Factor? Why, this deal that I'm about to give you right here. Get started at factormeals.com/toastedoff and use the code toasted50off to get 50% off your first box plus free shipping. Let me spell it out for you. factormeals.com/TOASTED. That's the number 50. OFF. Use that code. Get 50% off your first box plus free shipping. I want to thank Factor for supporting this part of the show, and I want to thank all of you out there for your super support. Now, back to the discussion. Am I still worried about some things with this trailer? Yes. Yes, I am. Some of the things that I had concerns about are still there. I'm still concerned, for example, that there might be too many characters in this. This movie looks very stuffed. So you can see just with the heroes alone. You know, you have Guy Gardner, one of the Green Lanterns. You have Hawkgirl. You have Mr. Terrific back there. And then you got a whole, also you have Flag, Rick Flag Sr. You all know that his son was killed by Peacemaker, but that's a whole other thing right there. So a lot of characters on the hero side. On the villain side, of course, we got to have Lex Luthor. That's cool. But then, you know, we have other people here just in this screenshot alone, you see that they have one of the people that we're just now beginning to see, the engineer. That's the woman back there in that sexy ass spandex black, that leather black tight ass suit. And then we got Ultraman. And this is where I'm not claiming to know too much about these characters. I believe, you guys tell me, I believe Ultraman is sort of like an alternate dimension Superman. You know, he's just as strong as Superman, but probably is not as pure or not as good. And, you know, some of these things make sense as I dig deep into, you know, what this story might be about or think about it. And this is where you can tell me if I'm going too far. You can tell me if I'm stretching. You can tell me if I'm digging too deep right here. But I'm trying to make sense of why there's so many characters in this. And some of it makes sense, you know, because I'm looking at some of this and it looks like since Ultraman is as strong as Superman, he's the only one that could actually arrest him or you know, bring him in or subdue him. And we see that he's working with Rick Flag, who's working with the government. And I think that, you know, they're able to bring Superman in because Ultraman probably has the trust of the government. Lex Luthor probably has the trust of the people, not the government, but the people. Ultraman, Lex Luthor, you know, Rick Flag, they have more trust from the people than Superman right now. So he's allowed himself to be brought in. And then you see that the government locks up, either the government or maybe with the help of Lex Luthor, they lock up Superman. And when you lock up Superman, this containment unit, prison, whatever it is, probably built with the help of Lex Luthor. Looks like it's meant for other metahumans or superpowered beings, which you can see one back there, Metamorpho. So, you know, it looks like, you know, you're just seeing sort of some of these other cameos as our other characters as world building. I love this scene right here, though, because they're trying to contain Superman. Bitch, I'm Superman. You can't keep me in a cage. You know, I love that shot right there. So, you know, I don't know how the other characters will fit in for sure. But like I said, I think that, you know, these other characters could just be used to further establish James Gunn's new universe that he's doing. You know, set up these characters so, you know, we'll know who they are when we see them in other movies and other films, which we're already starting to see. You know, they have Peacemaker coming out, and they already have some crossover with characters from Superman.
Is that popcorn still here?
You love popcorn.
You know, got Guy Gardner with that old shitty haircut right there, looking like a blonde Mo from the Three Stooges. You know, they, as you can see, they're just probably doing this to just, again, do world building. And, you know, it makes sense to probably do this with one of DC's flagship characters, Superman. You know, right out the gate, let's just start showing that, yes, it's Superman, but he's sharing this world with these other characters that we'll be seeing a lot of, which I don't mind, as long as it, like I said, it doesn't get in the way of story, or it doesn't get in the way of developing these characters just for, you know, a little cameo. But I trust what James Gunn is doing. And, you know, I do like that we're seeing more of some of the characters that might be an actual threat to Superman. One of them is the engineer. Now, you know, oh boy, Crypto don't like that. Crypto, get on it. The thing with the engineer, don't know much about her. Like I said, I'll tell you that right now. I just looked her up a little bit. I know that she uses nanotechnology and also liquid steel to form, her suit or her limbs into weapons. And, you know, I think she's a combination of some other characters in the books. Like I said, you can tell me if I'm wrong right here. But you can see that she's powerful enough to be. And I don't know if you might have saw Lex Luthor in this shot. Look at that. You know, she's in the Fortress of Solitude, tearing Superman's living room up. So apparently she is a real threat. Powerful enough to at least make us feel like she's a threat to Superman. A powerful enough character to be the side-hand woman of Lex Luthor. But not powerful enough to go against that crypto ass whooping. Get your ass at my daddy's house. Made them cornrows stand up. Look at that. Boy, I love crypto, man. Y'all know this. I love crypto. I love that crypto is not just being used as a gag or comic relief. I love that crypto was putting in some work. I told y'all, man, crypto is the one that brought me to tears. I love dogs. You know, when we do our review, I'm going to put a little cape on her. I might even give her a little Superman hair. I don't know. But y'all know I love dogs. I love that crypto is actually being used in a legit Superman movie. And I love, like I said, that he's the VIP. He not only saved Superman in that first teaser that we saw. Yes, crypto, go! Love that, man. But also, you know, saving Superman's ass, and also, as I said, holding it down in Superman's house.
Your choices.
Bitch, get out of my daddy's house. I love that. That's one of my other favorite shots in the trailer right there. Seriously, you know, crypto could easily be used as a joke because he's considered to be sort of more of a lighthearted character. Like I said, when I grew up with crypto, you know, I saw him in cartoons. Even today, like most recently, we had a animated film with Crypto and Batman's dog. And, you know, to put him in a Superman movie, you got to be careful with that. But it looks like they're putting him to really good use. And like I said, it's a very tricky thing. It could be easily treated as a joke or just not taken seriously and, again, be a distraction to the movie. But, yeah, I love that they've gone in and actually used crypto. At least it seems like they're using him effectively. Now, I don't want to be nitpicking here. You know, there's some crypto's like, you better shut your mouth. And I'm sorry, crypto. I'm not going to go too hard. Just some things I want to say right here. Just some things I might go in and just critique just a little bit. I'm loving what I see, but it's a very CG heavy film. And, you know, that's one of the things that I'm looking at with movies today where when they use a lot of CG, it's just very bright. And this looks like a very, very bright film to the point where it looks kind of flat in some parts. And I get it. Superman is a bright symbol of hope. So this is not supposed to be a dark film. It's not supposed to be a shadowy film or a moody film. But like I said, it just looks a little bit flat sometimes. And maybe that's just something that I noticed lately. I don't think a lot of people are going to be bothered by that. I don't think a lot of people are going to notice that. I love the shot, though, of Clark as a little boy, running to his paw, Paw Kent right there. And I'm always going to love the relationship that Clark has with his parents. He grew up respectful, never mouthed off too much, took those good values that his mom and daddy taught him. I respect that. But damn, the Kents are country as hell. I mean, especially Ma Kent.
I cleaned your boots. I'll go get them for you.
I'll go get him for you. Sound like an old miner in the West. I'll go get him for you. You know, maybe I'm just not used to seeing the Kents be that country. I mean, it even look like she got teeth missing or something. But I'm cool. You know, as long as they love Clark and Clark loves them, I respect. Got nothing to say about that. But no, that's not reaching. Reaching is finding meaning. And some say I got that Julian effect of reaching. No, reaching is finding meaning in things that aren't there. What I'm doing is probably at most nitpicking. I'm just giving you my opinions on things that I'm seeing. You know, like when I say it's a very bright film, you can see how bright it is. Maybe it'll get dark or something. That's not reaching, that's an observation. Fucking idiot. You know, man, listen, call out country as hell. I go get your boots for you. Come on, you know, that ain't reaching. I'm hearing what I'm hearing. Yeah, y'all know that's country. Do I have to tell you again? Listen to this. Let's go get your boots for you.
I'll go get them for you.
Go get them now. If I tried to find some other meaning in there, or compare it to something, that would be reaching. All right, get your shit straight. Trying to sound smart. You reaching, man? Reaching for what? You reaching? But you know what? It's a great trailer though. It has throughout some really great Superman moments, some great lines. This right here that you're about to hear, this is a true Superman line.
Hey, buddy, eyes up here.
That's Superman. That's a line that Superman would say. And I love the way they capped this trailer off. I love the way the last shot that they gave us. A boy and his dog, man. That right there just warms my heart. But I just said that's not a Superman line directly. That's just something that Superman would say. You know, that Superman has a way of being stern, but not too condescending. You know, Superman is all about getting the job done. You know, and that's just his personality, the way he said what he said. But man, yeah, I love that shot right there. And again, maybe it's because they're ending it with crypto, but that just humanizes Superman even more. Superman is you know, he's all about good values. He's all about justice, and also, you know, he's all about just being. Even though he realizes from another planet, he's all about just being a human being, man. And you know, there's just no more of a human moment right here than a man relaxing with his dog. That just goes to show how much compassion this man has. It just goes to show how much love this man has, you know, in his heart, that he would love his dog like that. And his dog loves him. I love that. Love that right there. And for my last observation right here. Now this is this is a little crazy, but who are the Mighty Crabjoys? I just saw that poster back there. I know it doesn't matter. Nobody's going to worry about that. That's probably just a sight gag, but I really do want to know more about this band. I would love to hear their music. I just like that name, the Mighty Crabjoys. I kind of hope they do pop up somewhere. You know, maybe we'll go to a bar or something they'll be playing. I don't know, man. That man, and you know what? That shot right there, I sleep with my dog. I do. I sleep with my dog every night. Now, she don't sleep on top of me like that because that would just be weird. But she's by my side every night. So anybody, listen, if nothing else, if you have a dog that you're close to and you sleep with your dog like I do, not like that, you nasty son of a bitch. But if if you're close with your dog like that, that trailer, it's already speaking to you. Love that. Oh, wow. Somebody said the Mighty Crabjoys show up as a t-shirt in the Creature Commandos. Let me look that up. Because that would be an awesome running gag, man. Oh, wow. Look at that. The Mighty Crabjoys appear on Frankenstein, or Frankenstein's monster. And as you can see, they do appear on the wall back there. That's a cool running gag, man. I hope that continues, man. Also, you see them on a billboard. Okay, now we got to see who this band is, man. I want to hear their music. We have to see them play at some point. But anyway, y'all, that's my reaction to this trailer. I am so excited for this. And I know I'm setting myself up for disappointment. I know that I'm probably getting too excited and I should settle my ass down. I know. I should just shut up. But I can't help it. It just feels like James Gunn gets it. It feels like he understands Superman. Superman is supposed to be a beacon of hope for us. And we need that especially right now. At a moment where compassion is seen as weakness. You know, Superman, somebody who's one of the strongest people on the planet, but also is very compassionate about people and all about the people. You know, that's a message we could use right now. And I love it, man. I love it. I love what I'm seeing. Hey, look, I'll tell you this. That movie could suck, okay? I hope it doesn't. That movie could suck, but I got this trailer right here. I got enough good moments in this trailer right here to last me for a while. But I hope the movie's great, man. I really do. And I can't wait for July 11th to get here. Sooner, man. Yeah, I say sooner because I want it to be here tomorrow. I don't want to wait a whole month. Opens up in July 11th. Hopefully, we'll get a screening in IMAX. It'll be one of those movies. If I don't see it in IMAX and it's great, I'm gonna go see it in IMAX anyway at some other point. I'll go see it again, maybe 2 or 3 times. I don't know. How do you guys feel about this?